Yeah, thank you for giving me the word. So I'm Wessel Kleesnakenboog, founder of NovaCustom, a custom laptop brand in the Netherlands. And today I want to show you how to revolutionize your laptop experience with NovaCustom's hardware device and open source firmware. So I will talk about why NovaCustom is switching to the Dasharo firmware. I will tell something about the firmware update procedure. I will also give a status update on CubesOS certification that we are planning for a few models that we offer. Then we had some firmware problems, which I would like to discuss in context with the GitHub community. Then I will tell something about the new feature plans, and at the last slide I will talk about or I would actually like to get feedback from all of you, and maybe we can have some ideas of what we can improve. So why is NovaCustom switching to Dasharo? Essentially just because we really think it's better firmware. We are normally using the inside firmware. This is the firmware that is shipped with our laptops by default. But we started to offer some of our laptops with the Dasharo firmware already. So at the inside firmware, we have some security concerns, as it's all closed source firmware, and hence we do not know what the firmware is exactly doing. The Dasharo aims to be as open as possible, which is really appreciated by our customers. The Dasharo is also basing its firmware on core boot, which has the benefit of faster boot times. So we want to sell our laptops with a better support for certain GNU Linux operating systems, especially Ubuntu, Fedora, and some others. There is a problem with the inside firmware where the keyboard elimination is depending on software, and we would rather like to have the keyboard elimination of our laptops to be controlled by the firmware itself, so that it is supported for all operating systems, and so that it does not depend on any software. Another benefit of the Dasharo firmware is that it's updatable, which is quite important if there's any security concern in the current release. And in the past, we've had some problems with the fan curve for the inside firmware. Dasharo has optimized the fan curve so that we do not have complaints of customers any longer that have a fan that is being too loud. Dasharo also has IPXE integrated, which is great for our internal processes. We can automate the deployment of the operating system, which is really cool. And by the way, IPXE is really good documented. So that's really great. In fact, for the Dasharo firmware, there are endless of possibilities, and some features that we are thinking of to integrate in some new releases is a BIOS password, and we are also working on the Intel ME HEP disabling method for some of our laptops. We hope to be able to fully switch to the Dasharo by the end of 2024. We hope it's financially feasible, and this is actually also why our firmware transition is going so slow, because it costs a lot of time and fast money to get our devices ported to the Dasharo. So to make this financially more feasible, we are considering to skip every second generation. Then I would like to tell something about the firmware update procedure of our laptops. We are currently using the Dasharo tool suite, which is an integrated boot option. And so basically you boot the laptop to this boot option, then select firmware update option, which is option 5, and then the laptop should update its firmware. So that is quite an easy procedure. Before we used FWUPD for firmware updates, which could be done within the operating system, which is maybe even nicer. But this was problematic after switching to open source EC firmware. So the embedded controller firmware is not stored in the main SPI flash, and this makes it harder to fully update the firmware binaries. So we are now considering to switch that EC firmware from the EC chip to the main SPI flash, so that FWUPD can be used again. Then an update about CubesOS certification, which we announced in September 2022. So unfortunately, we had to postpone this, and this will most likely be postponed in April 2023. But I think FreeMDev can give a better estimation, as they are working on the validation and as we speak. The main reason why it has been postponed is that CubesOS does not support modern standby S0IX at this moment. Instead, they only support S3 suspend mode, and our laptops do have the possibility to get in S3 suspend mode, but the firmware has to be adapted for this. So the NV41 series without Lake processor has been successfly tested with S3 suspend mode, but this was only in Linux, and we are also selling quite a lot of laptops with Windows or at like dual boot, and this is problematic. So we had to add a BIOS option to let the user switch between S0IX modern standby and S3 suspend mode, so that CubesOS can be would be able to get into this S3 state. So this was all successful, and this in test phase now, I believe. There are two other laptops that we wanted to have certification for, which is the NS51 series and the NS70 series with Alder Lake processor. But it seems that these laptops have, they share the same mainboard, and it seems that there is a transistor missing compared to the original mainboard. So now the firmware developers team is investigating the possibility to add this transistor, and maybe we can get S3 suspend mode fixed for these laptop series. Let's hope that, but this is not likely to happen in a few weeks or so for this series. The last thing I wanted to mention is that S0IX is the future, if we like it or not, as Intel is phasing out support for S3. Then we have had some firmware problems, and actually these problems all have been either reported by our community, or our community has helped with information, and this way we could fix problems of firmware together, which is really nice. And this is also why I would like to say to everyone, please be active and let's solve firmware problems together, because if we work together and if we report a lot, then of course firmware problems can really be solved. If something is is a problem that is not reported, obviously it can never be solved. This is of course the link to the Dasharo issues page of GitHub. So our new feature plans are as follows. In this year, we are focusing on the 12th generation Alder Lake models that we are currently offering. We are working on the stability, as we have two stability issues that were mentioned in the previous slide. And we are adding some new cool features. Yeah, so we are probably skipping the 13th generation Intel Raptor Lake because it is just financially unfeasible to develop the Dasharo firmware for every generation. And next year we are focusing on the 14th generation Intel Meteor Lake, and we hope to be able to offer our laptops with this processor series for all the laptops that we offer. Yeah, so I would like to ask you guys what is the firmware feature that you want. So I think this is the time for the discussions. Yeah.
Demi is saying that Cubes is working on S0IX, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, we've got one comment about RGB and keyboards.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at all my poor devs with their RGB NovaCustom keyboards, they are unable to change. Yeah, and we've got two questions. Do you plan a laptop with AMD CPU?
Yeah, so let me first comment on the RGB keyboard that cannot be changed. I was wondering if that is with the after the EC transition. So if it's with Open EC.
Yeah, I guess Dennis mentioned like probably the Insight, the older version. I don't know, Dennis. Can you tell us did you mean the older ones, or did you mean the new one?
I'm not entirely sure, but I could check and give you the exact serial number if you want.
Sure. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, then I will post the serial number in the chat.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay. Sorry. Can you remind me of the second question? Oh yeah, with AMD processors. Yeah, we are actually quite depending on one manufacturer as we speak, but we are investigating also other ways to get laptops with AMD processor, and we know that this would be there would probably really a market for that. It's just that we do not have the right hardware for that at this moment, but maybe in the future. We do not have any plans yet for this, but we do not exclude it either.
Okay, we've got second question. Why do you charge money for custom boot logo?
This is because it is a service. So when we are selling our laptop and we have to implement our own bootloader of the customer, we have to get this done, and to do so it costs time, and therefore it costs a bit of money. And of course, every customer can change the bootloader by themselves if they do not want to pay for this.
Okay, we've got one more question. Isn't S0IX already working on System 76 laptops with core boot? and we've got
Our laptops currently use S0iX. We are working on S3 support as an option, just to get a certain operating system such as CubeOS compatible with our laptops.
Okay, and we've got serial number on our chat.
Okay, yeah, I think maybe I don't know if it's handy to check this like right now. So maybe if Dennis is still there at the vPub, we can talk about it then.
Of course, there's no rush.
Yeah.